Hello everyone, Ikaruga here, and today I'm gonna show you how to get the Danny Mac eye designer eyes showing properly in ZBrush. So let's get to it. And here we have the default scene in Blender, and let's get rid of everything. Turn on the loop dev mode and import the eyes. There we go. Now this is not a Blender tutorial or the Danny Mac eye designer tutorial. I'm not gonna go over how to use Blender or how to use the eye designer. I'm only going to go over how to get the eyes to show up in ZBrush. Since the eye designer uses materials and UVs, we can't use those in ZBrush, so we need to convert those into textures we can apply to the eyeballs inside ZBrush in order to display them properly. Luckily, Danny has made this real easy, and it's just pressing couple buttons and it's done. First, we open the image editor so we can actually see what we're doing. Then we can make the kind of eye we want, tweaking the settings. And I've done this multiple times by now, just trying to find the settings that I like. So I'm just gonna tweak the settings a little bit, and it's pretty much up to you how you want the eyes to look. Now, one thing I'm not completely happy about with Danny's eye designer is that there is no veins on the eyes. You can get the blood color to show up, but it's more stylized rather than realistic, so it's just simple color with some fall off to it. So now, when we're happy, we go down to the baking section, and first we select the size for the maps we want. For this, let's just go for 1K textures. Then we just press Bake Iris Color. And Blender does its thing, and here we have the texture. Now, in order to get this out of Blender, we go to Image, Save As, and let's just put it to the desktop and save. And there we go. Next for the Scalera. Same thing. There we have it. Image, save as, to the desktop, and done. And now we have all the textures we need. But since it's texture based, we need UVs. So we can't just throw any sphere into ZBrush and have those textures working. We need the correct UVs to correctly display the textures. So the easiest way is to actually export one of the eyes as an FBX or use the GoB add-on. But since some people might not have that, I'm just gonna show the FBX export. And before we export the eyes, let's get rid of the subdivision surface modifier so we get nice low-res eyeballs into ZBrush, and we can add dynamic subdivisions inside ZBrush. And when that's done, we are ready to export the eyes. So we select only the parts we want to export and go into File, Export, and FBX. And remember to click on selected objects only in the export settings, or Blender is gonna send over everything, and we don't want that. And that's pretty much all we need to do inside Blender. Now let's hop on to ZBrush. And here I have the Shane's default project. So let's just import the FBX. And here we have the eye, as you can see. But in order to show the iris, we actually need to cut off the cornea part of the eye into its own subtool, so we can have it transparent. So let's do that. Do this. And that looks pretty nice. So we do split hidden, and there we have it. So in order to get the textures showing, we simply need to go to texture map and import the texture, like so. And as you can see, there is something wrong with it. There's this weird black part. But don't worry, that's an easy fix. We simply need to go to the UVs and flip V. And it's fixed. Let's do the same for the iris. Texture, import, and done. And remember to flip the UV. And there we have the eye. Now we obviously want to have it smooth, so we turn on dynamic subdiv, and let's just grease the polygroups so we don't have any gaps, like this. And there we go. Now, in order to get the cornea to be transparent, we simply need to go to display properties and PPR settings and press the PPR transparent shading. And ZBrush asks if you want to turn on the transparent render properties, and yes, we do. And with that, we simply render. And there we have it, Dynamax eye working nicely in ZBrush. There you have it, folks. That's the end of this tutorial. I hope you learned at least something. Have a nice one. Ika out.